If you eat absolutely nothing for exactly 72 hours, your brain will scream that you are starving. You will feel a terrifying emptiness behind your ribs, convincing you that your body is about to shut down and consume its own muscle. But that panic is a biological lie. A 2016 Nobel Prize-winning discovery reveals that by day 3, instead of dying, your body flips a dormant evolutionary switch that literally eats your aging, damaged cells, and completely rebuilds your immune system from scratch. To understand how this is even possible, you have to look past the hunger. The goal here is not just weight loss. This is about crossing a physiological desert to restore your baseline energy, to reverse deep-seated cellular fatigue, and to rebuild your biological performance from the inside out so you can actually feel physically younger again. But the journey across that desert is paved with chemical alarms designed to make you turn back. It begins in the first 12 hours. Your digestive system, a massive industrial factory that has been running on an endless conveyor belt since the day you were born, suddenly falls quiet. The blood sugar spike from your last meal has flatlined. For your entire life, your body has relied on glucose as its primary, easy-access fuel source. Think of glucose like cheap kindling. It burns fast, it burns bright, but you constantly have to throw more wood on the fire just to keep the lights on. Now, the kindling is running out. And your brain, a greedy, energy-hungry engine that demands 20% of your daily calories despite only making up 2% of your body weight, starts to panic. An invisible chemical alarm rings inside your bloodstream. The hormone ghrelin floods your system, traveling rapidly up your vagus nerve, banging on the doors of your hypothalamus. Your hands might feel cold. A subtle, rising psychological friction whispers that you are making a massive mistake. You sit there, staring at the clock, thinking, what if this is actually dangerous? What if I am doing permanent damage to my metabolism? But if you hold steady and drink a glass of water, a profound mechanical shift begins. Because the external food supply is cut off, your pancreas violently pulls back its production of insulin, the hormone responsible for storing fat, and instead releases its opposite into the bloodstream. This hormone is called glycogen, and it races directly to your liver with an urgent, non-negotiable memo. Imagine your liver as a heavy steel bank vault, holding about 100 grams of stored emergency sugar, known as glycogen. Glucagon cracks that vault open. For the next several hours, your liver quietly drips this stored glycogen into your bloodstream, just to keep your brain functioning and your heart beating. Most human beings in the modern world have never emptied this vault. We eat before it ever gets low. But today, you are forcing the vault to empty completely. And what happens when that final drop of glycogen is gone changes everything about how your body operates. You cross the 18-hour mark. The liver vault is completely empty. The body has a choice: shut down or find a new energy source. And this is where biology behaves unexpectedly. Instead of collapsing, your body completely rewrites its own energy grid. A massive hormonal signal is sent out, releasing an enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase. This enzyme travels directly to your adipose tissue, your body fat. For years, you might have looked at this fat as a burden, a physical flaw you wanted to get rid of. But your biology does not see it that way. To your DNA, body fat is a strapped-on battery pack of pure, pristine kinetic energy, saved specifically for a moment exactly like this. The lipase enzyme unlocks the fat cells, flooding your bloodstream with free fatty acids. But there is a critical, life-threatening problem. These fatty acids are too bulky. They cannot cross the blood-brain barrier. Your brain is suddenly facing a total metabolic blackout. To prevent cognitive death, your liver instantly transforms into a high-tech chemical refinery. It begins rapidly breaking down those bulky fatty acids and converting them into microscopic, highly efficient energy molecules called ketones. Specifically, it produces beta-hydroxybutyrate. These ketones are not cheap kindling. They are high-octane, premium rocket fuel. They easily slip across the blood-brain barrier, flooding into your neural pathways. When this happens, the lights in the brain do not just turn back on, they burn brighter than they have in a decade. A leading metabolic researcher once leaned across his desk, pointed to a glowing brain scan and said, "We always assumed depriving the brain of calories would slow it down, make it sluggish. But your brain isn't dying in a famine. It's upgrading its hardware to help you hunt. This makes perfect evolutionary sense. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, if an early human had not eaten for 2 days, they could not afford to be lethargic, weak, or brain-fogged. If they were, they would starve. Evolution hardwired our biology so that temporary food deprivation triggers a massive release of adrenaline and noradrenaline. Your nervous system is flooded with sharp, piercing focus. The afternoon brain fog you usually experience is completely eradicated. You are now running on a fundamentally different, ancient operating system. But the real transformation has not even started yet. Welcome to the 24-hour line. Your body is comfortably burning its own fat for fuel, but without new proteins and vitamins coming in from the outside world, your cells realize they have to become fiercely resourceful. If they cannot get building materials from your diet, they have to scavenge them from within. Deep inside your organs, a biological protocol called autophagy activates. Autophagy translates from Greek as self-eating. It sounds like a disease, but it is actually the most powerful anti-aging mechanism known to human science. Imagine a single cell in your body as a bustling, microscopic, metropolitan city. Over years of normal living, eating, breathing, and stressing, this city accumulates trash. Misfolded proteins pile up in the cellular streets like abandoned vehicles. Damaged, exhausted mitochondria, which are the power plants of your cells, start sputtering out toxic free radicals, literally rusting your biology from the inside. There are even zombie cells, known as senescent cells, which refuse to die but no longer function, doing nothing but secreting inflammatory sludge that causes accelerated aging. In a normal, constantly fed state, your body is too busy processing breakfast, lunch, and dinner to ever clean up this microscopic garbage. But now, at hour 24, the biological sanitation department is fully funded and aggressively deployed. Microscopic structures called autophagosomes begin to form in the cytoplasm. Picture them as cellular Pac-Men, roaming relentlessly through your cells. They hunt down the misfolded proteins, the oxidized lipids, and the damaged mitochondria. They swallow this toxic cellular garbage whole, encasing it in a biological bubble. Then, they transport it to a lysosome, a sac filled with highly acidic enzymes. The lysosome acts as a blazing incinerator, completely dissolving the garbage and recycling it into raw, pristine amino acids that the body immediately uses to build brand new, highly efficient cellular machinery. You are literally rebuilding yourself from your own ashes. Studies suggest that this exact process, the clearing out of misfolded tau proteins and amyloid plaques, is one of our absolute strongest biological defenses against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Your body is performing deep tissue, microscopic surgeries that no pharmaceutical drug on Earth can fully replicate. And yet, that is only the cellular level. What is happening back up in the brain as you push toward hour 36 is even more extraordinary. As you move deep into the second day of nothing but water, you might expect to feel like a walking ghost. Instead, a wave of profound, eerie calm washes over you. The severe hunger pangs from day one have mysteriously vanished. Why? Because the hunger hormone, ghrelin, operates on a circadian rhythm. It spikes when you normally eat, but if you ignore it, it eventually drops back down to baseline. By hour 36, your body realizes food is simply not coming, so it turns off the hunger alarm completely. Simultaneously, the high concentration of ketones in your blood triggers the release of a miracle protein in the brain called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Think of BDNF as high-grade, premium fertilizer for your neurons. It actively stimulates neurogenesis, the actual physical growth of brand new brain cells, particularly in the hippocampus, which is the memory and learning center of your brain. It increases neuroplasticity, allowing your brain to form new neural connections, learn faster, and adapt to severe stress. In an evolutionary context, BDNF is released during starvation to help you remember exactly where the food sources are, to help you outsmart predators, and to navigate complex, dangerous environments. But in the modern world, sitting in your living room or at your desk, this BDNF flood translates into an almost surreal sense of mental clarity. The constant, anxious chatter in your mind quiets down. You feel uniquely present. But just as you begin to settle into this mental high, a dark thought creeps in. You look down at your arms. You remember a fitness article you read years ago. The internal monologue returns with a vengeance. I've been starving for 2 days. My metabolism is going to crash. My body is going to panic and eat my muscle tissue to survive. This is the most pervasive, damaging myth about human metabolism, and it is entirely wrong. We must break this misconception right now. The myth states that fasting puts you into a dangerous starvation mode, where the body hoards fat and burns precious muscle tissue for fuel. The scientific reality is the exact, literal opposite. Why would human biology design a system that burns muscle, the very tissue required to hunt, gather, and survive, while preserving body fat, the tissue designed specifically to be burned in times of famine? It would be like trying to heat your freezing house in the middle of winter by chopping up your living room furniture for firewood, while completely ignoring the massive pile of chopped oak sitting perfectly stacked in the backyard. The human body is exponentially smarter than that. To violently protect your muscle tissue during a deep fast, your pituitary gland begins pumping out massive, unprecedented amounts of human growth hormone. By the 48-hour mark, clinical studies have shown that HGH levels can spike by up to 300%. This hormone acts as an impenetrable biological shield around your lean muscle mass, physically preventing it from being broken down for energy. Simultaneously, this HGH surge accelerates the burning of adipose fat tissue. Your basal metabolic rate does not drop. It actually increases slightly, driven by the steady, continuous surge of adrenaline. Your body is not shutting down. It is revving up, optimizing every single system for survival. And then, you cross the final threshold. You enter the 72-hour mark, the 3-day finish line. At this point, you are deep in the biological wilderness. Autophagy is operating at absolute peak capacity, scrubbing your cells clean. Your blood insulin levels are the lowest they have been since you were a child, meaning your cells are rapidly regaining their insulin sensitivity, actively reversing the damage of a lifetime of high-sugar, highly processed diets. Your levels of systemic inflammation, measured by blood markers like C-reactive protein, absolutely plummet. The subtle joint pain you used to feel in the mornings seems to have completely vanished, but the absolute crowning achievement of the 72-hour fast happens deep inside your bones. Inside your bone marrow, your immune system is undergoing a total, radical reboot. Prolonged fasting creates a systemic stress that is so severe, it actually kills off millions of old, damaged white blood cells. This sounds incredibly dangerous, until you realize what happens next. Renowned longevity researchers discovered that this severe depletion of white blood cells flips a massive regenerative switch. The body signals hematopoietic stem cells, the master builder cells of the immune system, to wake up and activate. When you finally break the fast and introduce food back into the system, these stem cells rapidly proliferate. They generate a massive army of brand new, highly resilient white blood cells. You are quite literally generating a completely new immune system, one that is younger, sharper, and completely unburdened by the cellular damage of your past. You have cleared out the biological deadwood and allowed vibrant new life to grow in its place. This sounds like a superpower, and in many ways it is, but it comes with a severe, non-negotiable warning. Fasting is a deeply intense biological stressor. It is not a toy. It is a highly precise medical tool. If you decide to attempt a multi-day fast, you must understand that the process of breaking the fast is actually far more dangerous than the fast itself. After 3 days of absolutely zero food, your digestive enzymes are dormant. Your stomach is literally asleep. If you celebrate the end of a 72-hour fast by eating a massive, carbohydrate-heavy meal, you risk a potentially lethal condition called refeeding syndrome. A sudden, violent spike in insulin can pull electrolytes out of your blood so fast it can trigger cardiac arrest. You must wake the digestive system up gently. A small bowl of rich bone broth, a handful of macadamia nuts, a tiny piece of fermented food. You must treat your gut like a delicate, waking infant. Furthermore, this extreme biological protocol is completely off-limits for certain populations. If you have a history of eating disorders, this tool will only weaponize your relationship with food and cause profound psychological harm. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, Your body requires continuous anabolism and growth, and fasting will severely harm both you and the child. If you are on heavy medications, particularly blood sugar regulators like exogenous insulin, doing this without strict doctor supervision is recklessly dangerous. This is not about suffering just for the sake of suffering. It is about strategic, calculated biological hormesis, the fundamental principle that carefully measured stress makes your cells remarkably stronger. As you sit there, sipping that first warm cup of broth after 72 hours, a profound realization settles over you. For years, you might have felt trapped in a body that was always tired, always hungry, always inflamed, and always breaking down. You might have thought your metabolism was permanently broken, entirely destroyed by modern life, chronic stress, and ultra-processed food. But the past 3 days have proven that this is a lie. You are not broken. Your body is simply responding perfectly to the signals you have been sending it. When you send it a continuous signal of endless consumption, it grows sluggish, burdened, and sick. But when you send it the ancient, evolutionary signal of scarcity, it responds with shocking resilience, repair, and deep cellular regeneration. You possess, right now, entirely dormant within your cells, an incredibly sophisticated self-healing technology that has kept humanity alive through ice ages, famines, and the brutal dawn of time. You do not need a miracle to heal. You just need to occasionally get out of your own body's way.
Thank you for joining us today on Health Insight as we dive deeper into your wellness journey. If you found these tips valuable, please give this video a thumbs up to help us reach more people. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated on all things health. We want to make sure our next video covers exactly what you need to know. Drop a comment below and tell us what health topic or medical mystery you'd like us to explore next. Until next time, stay proactive, stay informed, and stay healthy.